April 13th at this timely Tuesday is going up, and hey, I gotta say thank you for starters. Last week's video on clarity and the first ingredient in cranking up your money magnet was really well received in terms of likes on this video, in terms of people reaching out to me via email to comment and straight up throwing money at us. Like, that was one of the best videos that we've done in a really long time. So since we got such good feedback, we're going to cover part 2, ingredient 2 in cranking up your money magnet. And we're going to talk about the part that makes it fun, that makes you feel good, and that allows things to magnetically start arriving at your doorstep as fast as possible. If that sounds good to you, stick around. Let's go. Okay, so last week we talked about clarity as the #1 ingredient to turning on your money magnet. We talked about how your subconscious brain fundamentally just needs a picture to go, okay, I'll go get that for you, and get moving in that direction, and get that thing moving in your direction. And it is true that when you just get clear all by itself, does amazing things for magnetically attracting things. Well, what we're going to talk about this week is we're going to talk about how to raise your energy level to the proper place and in the proper way that will allow that magnet thing to happen just that much more. I'll even say exponentially more quickly. So a little bit of science on this. This relies upon the principle of what's called harmonic resonance. We write about this in the book Master Your Mind. You're like, well, I thought we were going to stay away from science here. No, we're going to get a little bit scientific on you here. We talked a little bit about, we did some neuroscience last week. We got to talk a little harmonic resonance this week. You're like, Harmoni what? Harmonic resonance is the principle that things literally will vibrate at the same frequency as like things. The easiest way to understand this is in music, sound energy. You know that sound travels as a vibration, sound waves, right? So if you've got a tuning fork that is set to vibrate, like if you, I'm a terrible singer, so I'm not going to try and hit any notes here. If you've got a tuning fork that is set to vibrate the note of B, okay, and you hit it, it will, and it'll sing a little bit, right? You can hear it vibrating the note of B. Well, guess what? If you are in the same room with that tuning fork and there's a piano across the room, and somebody hits the note of B in whatever octave, but hits the B note on the piano, what you'll notice is that from across the room, the tuning fork in your hand will start singing that note. It won't sing at all if the piano across the room plays the note of C, D, E, or whatever out of Every Good Boy Does Fine. Anything other than B won't do anything to the tuning fork. But when you hit the same note that the tuning fork is tuned for, all the way across the room, it will cause the tuning fork to sing. That's harmonic resonance in a nutshell. So everything that we encounter, people, money, situations, thoughts, emotions, bodies, physical objects, everything has a resonant vibrational frequency. And when you have thoughts that are vibrating, resonating in a certain way, the world cannot help but manifest those, but bring those same vibrations to you and cause them to start singing, literally, the same tune that you're singing. So this is, first of all, why clarity is so important, right? What happens is when you get a clear picture of what you want, that begins the process of causing your thoughts and your entire being to resonate to vibrate with the same frequency as that thing that you're picturing. I hope this is making sense to you here. Again, it's a little bit metaphysical, but that begins the process. When you teach your subconscious brain, hey, that's where we're going, that's what we're looking for, and your elephant goes, okay, I'll get that for you. One of the main mechanisms that your subconscious does that is it literally changes your vibrational frequency to start resonating with that thing. But this isn't just about turning on your money magnet. The title of these videos is how to crank up your money magnet. See, the more strongly a vibrational frequency vibrates, the more powerful it is and the more it causes that other thing. Like, the louder you play the note on the piano, the louder the note will be in the tuning fork. The more intensely you play the piano, the more intensely it's going to vibrate in the tuning fork. And so the more energy, the more good tuned in energy you can vibrate with, the faster it causes those things to resonate, and then you to spot them and them to spot you. So what this means is, this is why it's so important to be not just clearly moving in a direction, but working to elevate the sheer quantity of energy that you have. The more mental energy you're putting out that's vibrating at the frequency of that which you want, which you want, yeah. The more volume you're putting behind that, the more energy you can be putting towards that, the faster you move towards that, and the faster it moves towards you. You guys, this is why fundamentally we teach so much of what we do, especially about monitoring and upgrading your input sources. If you're looking for what to do with this information, this is where I would simply direct you to pay attention to what you're inputting into your brain. In a lot of our work, we talk about how you've got these input sources, and I'll break them down for you. You've got these input sources of what you watch, what you read, what you listen to, how you talk to yourself, and the people that you surround yourself. Those are the 5 main categories of input sources that you've got. And by being cognizant of things like reading books instead of watching TV, especially in the morning and at night, having really great self-talk where you're building yourself up and manifesting things as opposed to beating yourself up, doing things like, listening to educational podcasts or things like that in your car as opposed to just sports radio or the news. This is why those things are so important. What you output from an energy standpoint, what you resonate outward, is largely simply going to be a function of what you have input into your brain. If you're inputting high frequency, high energy things, you cannot help but output, resonate, emanate high frequency, high energy vibes, if you will. And those vibes will then cause people, things, and results that vibrate the same way to come towards you. You gotta take care of your energy. Harmonic Resonance teaches us that what you are outputting will start singing the same song as you, and it wants to hang out with you, and it wants to be part of your life. This is why what you want wants you. So be cognizant of this. Upgrade those input sources. Hey, if you're looking for a great way to do that, I got 2 tips for you. 1, subscribe to this channel if you have not. We put out great content like this every single week. And if nothing else, when you're subscribed to this channel, you can hang out with me and my crew for 5 to 10 minutes every single week, and that will raise your vibrational frequency. I would also tell you that if you haven't registered for next week's online implementation masterclass with Rob Zabersky, you definitely should do that. You'll spend a whole day with like-minded people, receiving great instruction on all of the science and all the different ways that you can dive deep and implement all of these money magnet things. So if you haven't registered for the masterclass, you should do that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should do that. And if there's anything that we can do to help make this more systematic in your life, if we can help you in any way, listen, it's what we do. So reach out. It's all about good vibrations, so you go have a great week, and I'll talk to you in 7 days.